Hi everybody, I hope you're keeping well. I'd like to welcome you to this morning's webinar. My name is Veronica, and unfortunately this will be our last webinar on play. First of all, I'll give you a brief overview of this morning's webinar. I am going to talk to you about the importance of play and how you can be more involved in your child's play. Charlene will then talk to you about the different types of play that you and your child can engage in, and games and activities that you and your child can engage in. Mary will then talk to you about the benefits of storytelling, books, and nursery rhymes, and then Lynn was going to give you a demonstrative session on reflexology, and then we'll answer any questions you have on play. So I'm just going to ask Mary now to share the screen, and I'll begin. You just bear with us a minute. The joys of technology is really the joys of technology, isn't it? So just stick through with it a minute. Internet is kind of slow. Okay, so I'm just going to ask the ladies if you can see this here now. All good? Yep, no worries. Okay. So first of all, what is play and why is play important? Children's play is any behaviour, activity or process initiated, controlled or instructed by children themselves or even sometimes parents. It can take place indoors, outdoors, whenever and wherever opportunities arise. Play involves repetition of experience, exploration, experimentation and imitation of one's surroundings. Play is simply the way a child explores their world, builds skills, uses their imagination and learns through experience. You may have considered play as a fun activity that your child engages in, or something that keeps your child occupied during the day, or even exhausts their energy, or even gets them out of your hair. But play is much, much more than this. Play is actually child's work. If you think of it like this, your child's job growing up is to explore, learn, and experience as much in life to develop the life skills needed to help prepare them for adulthood. Play is essential to child development because it contributes to the cognitive, physical, social, and emotional well-being of children. Play promotes healthy brain development, expansion of their language and communication skills. Play also lays the foundation for literacy and numeracy skills, fine and gross motor skills, hand-to-eye coordination, attention and listening skills. Play shows children how to engage and interact with the world around them, enabling them to promote social learning and establish connections and relationships. It teaches children about choices, limitations, personal awareness. It helps them with the expression and understanding of emotions and feelings. Play encourages creativity, exploration, whilst learning to master life's challenges along the way, enabling children to develop new competencies that lead to increased self-esteem, confidence, resilient building, coping skills, and empathy. Children are learning through play even though they aren't aware of it. For example, while children are playing, they can try out new social skills. They're sharing their toys, agreeing what to work on with materials. When children are engaging in this play, they aren't thinking, I'm building my social skills, but their parents may be. But they are thinking, I'm just having so much fun. Play also can help promote cultural awareness, respect for difference, diversity, and good community relations. And you can do this by providing games, activities, and books with a range of diverse cultural stereotypes and family books for your child to learn from. Mary will discuss books to promote cultural awareness and diversity later. Play is considered so important for a child's optimal development. It has been recognised as a basic human right for every child by the United Nations. Play creates an environment of fun and enjoyment where your child learns essential skills and knowledge that form the foundational blocks for your child's development and the foundational blocks which will shape their future success, happiness, health, and well-being. So what are the benefits of play? The benefits of play are ample, and they are essential to a child's social, emotional, and cognitive and physical development. On the screen, this is just a list of some of the benefits of play. For example, play promotes development of motor skills. If children engage in activities that promote the development of gross motor skills, for example, large movements, such as activities you could create an obstacle course for your child, walking the plank or going under a low beam, and activities that promote fine motor skills. These are the smaller movements. like picking up objects such as holding a pencil, painting, or colouring. By engaging in these play activities, children are developing and strengthening gross motor skills and fine motor skills, increasing their physical development. Whilst they are playing, they are also thinking about how to undertake the task, which is increasing their cognitive skills, enabling them to master a new skill, which will also improve their self-esteem and confidence, and this is increasing their emotional development. If children are playing these activities with other children, they will be engaging in turn taking, sharing, and establishing emotional connections and forming relationships. This is actually going to increase their social development. This shows how the benefits of play are endless during one activity alone. It also shows that play activities are not subject to the promotion of one developmental domain, but they actually intertwine with each other across all the developmental domains in child development for whole child development. Now, if we move on, so what is the parent's role in the child's play? Parents play a vital role in your child's life and in their play. Firstly, you are your child's first and most important teacher. You are one of the most important people in your child's life, and part of your job is to learn how to play and know how you can use it to assist your child's learning. So then, how can you take a more active role in your child's play through learning through play? Number one, the importance of knowing how to play with your child. If, for example, you picture the scene, your child is playing with his favourite car. Dad comes over and starts to play too. Dad discovers the car goes really fast. Dad spends 10 minutes showing his son how well the car goes. What turns out to be the child supposedly playing with the car ends up Dad playing with the car and an unhappy child looping on. It's important to be mindful of how you're playing with our children, knowing when to be more involved in your child's play and when to take a back seat. Most of the time, your child needs instructions when faced with a new and difficult task, but sometimes they do not need. They're prepared to take control of their play, even though you're only trying to help. But sometimes it's best to give them the room they need to work things out at their own level of thinking and understanding. As much as you want to help your child, if you help your child when it is not necessary, you're actually interfering with important learning, such as creativity, leadership, and social learning. Just like children, it takes time, patience, and practice in mastering the skill of learning to know when to be more involved in your child's play and to when to take a back seat. You can take a more active role in your child's learning through play by providing opportunities to promote learning through play. Parents can provide the home environment to give children the opportunities to play by simply giving them the time and space to play without added intervention, while still supervising, of course. You create this opportunity making time in each day for your child to play. This will allow your child the freedom to explore their environment, be creative in their imagination, and use their own resources to engage in play. Research also shows that children need playtime with parents. Play also offers an opportunity for the parents a chance to see the world from their child's perspective. For parents to engage fully with their child, spend some quality fun time with them, which strengthens the parent-child relationship. Charlene will talk later about play activities you and your child can engage in to promote whole child development. You can help your child's learning by trying to balance play in the real world versus play in the online or tech world. As today's children, Generation Alpha, are a generation that is immersed and surrounded by fast-changing technology. From babies swiping screens, children's first word being Alexa, increasing the usage of tablets and connecting through Zoom. There is both positive and negative aspects of technology for this generation. If we consider the negative effects, online or tech play, the world, this hinders a child's creativity, imagination, and their ability to establish connections, and much more, which will negatively impact their mental health. As the online world and tech world dictates how your child plays, learns, and experiences they engage in. As a parent, is it important to try and balance these worlds, provide age-appropriate tech time or screen time to provide optimal child development, enabling your child to reach their full potential. So there are 4 different types of play activity you and your child can take part in. The first one is instructional play. This is where you are teaching your child by giving him or her directions. Children learn skills by watching others or being shown how to do something. This form of interaction works best when your child needs your guidance in tackling a new and challenging task. For example, when you're working on a new puzzle, you might say, I'm going to try to put this piece here because this shape matches that space and this colour matches that colour. By thinking aloud, you're actively instructing your child in the method of problem solving by linking and connecting what you are doing to why you're doing it. This helps your child's logistic and reasoning skills and also enhances their problem solving skills. It's important to give your child an opportunity to practice these skills immediately after you've taught it, so they can put it into practice. And repetition of an activity is also important, as it is necessary for the building blocks that allow children to strengthen the connections in the brain that help them learn, make the connection, memorize how to overcome the task, and help your child master this new skill. After all, practice makes perfect in life. The second one is observational play. In this type of play, you can demonstrate a skill where your child watches you, modeling the behavior you would like your child to do. For example, when playing with blocks, you might say, let's see what I can build with these blocks. You can then start to build with the blocks, modeling this particular play skill so that your child learns. Talking to your child and asking questions like, do you think this block will make it fall over? Just think of Jenga. This will help your child's attention on the skills you're managing. Number 3, interactive play. You and your child work together. For example, when you're trying to do a puzzle together, you're working together or you're taking turns. Children like to be praised, and this is a good opportunity to praise your little one. You just say something like you're doing a great job. Interactive play boosts many benefits in promoting healthy child development, and it also strengthens the parent-child relationship. It also helps develop their social skills, teaches children to work together as a team, be cooperative, and demonstrates how they can interact with others, and shows children how to accept both losing and winning, foundational skills that are essential to build as they grow into adults. And finally, number 4, self-directed play, which has many names, unstructured play, free play. But this is so important as it actually sparks the imagination of a child. Here your child assumes a more independent role and directs his or her own activity with no adult guidance or control or outcome. For example, your child may decide what game to play, how to play it, what rules, what to do, everything the child wants to do. Here you should give your child as much freedom as possible, obviously within safe boundaries, and being ready to step in if there becomes injury to themselves or others. But the benefits of self-directed play are endless. Some of them actually include building their self-confidence, increasing their creativity, improve their decision-making skills, their problem-solving skills, learning at their own pace, discovering their own areas of interest. Encouragement of self-directed play also is a way to increase your child's physical activity. This will help build active, healthy children, which is linked to a child's current and future positive mental health and well-being. So this was a snapshot into why play is so important in a child's life, and how you, the parent, can help your child's whole development by taking an active role in your child's play, to enable your child to reap all the benefits from the different types of play activity you and your child can engage in. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I'm going to pass you on to Shirley. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Veronica. I'll just share my screen here. Is that okay for everybody? Play. So, children have a full-time occupation, and it's called play. Let them be occupied by it from their early years until their twilight years. How many times have you heard or even said, oh, they're just playing, or for early years school, sure, they're only playing? Yes, they are playing, but not just or only. They are setting the foundations for all the skills they need for their future. Language and communication, social skills, expressing emotions, emotional regulation, physical development, learning about the world around them, logical and critical thinking, organizational skills, empathy. I could go on forever. Play is such a crucial part of childhood, and absolutely everything a child does through play benefits them in so many ways. Now, the types and stages of play. So from 0 to 3 months, we have unoccupied play. This is just the little movements the babies make with their arms and their legs, and this is the beginning of play. From 3 to 18 months, we have solitary play. This is where the baby plays and explores various objects, but it's alone. Onlooker is from 18 months. Children may observe others play, but make no effort to join in. Then 2 years, they have parallel play. This is where children play alongside one another, but there is no interaction. Associative play for 3 to 4 years. Children here play in the same activity and often together, but with their own goal or agenda. And then from 4 years plus, it's cooperative play. This is where children play a particular game together with a specific structure or set of rules. So the categories of play. And the first one we're going to look at is physical play. Physical play is hugely important for children, not only to keep them fit and healthy, but to help muscle strength, fine and gross motor skills, balance and coordination. Children have so much energy, so it is important that they get enough physical activity every day. This promotes better sleep and eating patterns, and physical play also has loads of other benefits. It can help to regulate emotions, ease anxiety, and generally support mental well-being. It can provide children with a sense of freedom, encourage independence, and it's an excellent way of developing social skills and building friendships. Active play improves executive function. This is focusing on tasks, remembering instructions, and general multitasking. This type of play doesn't need a lot of resources. All that is really needed is space and imagination. All activities can be adapted to suit the various stages and abilities. It is intrinsically motivated and almost contagious. If you see if kids see others out enjoying a game or activity, they immediately want to join in on the fun. In the current climate of technology, we need to make outdoor physical play more appealing and fun. It can be a family activity that everyone can get active. Have your own football or tennis league at sports day. It may get competitive, but sometimes that's the fun of it. Have a go at making homemade medals or a family cup or trophy. Could be up for grabs. You as a family can decide. When everyone is active, we are all winners. Next, we're going to have a look at constructive play. Constructive play is where we are given an item and through manipulating, building, stacking, connecting, we create something new. Whether it is a tower from blocks, a fort from blankets, or a robot from junk materials, this is all construction. This type of play really encourages a child's imagination and creativity. They can take control and build anything they like and make decisions independently. It improves problem solving and critical thinking, working out how to put things together or best materials to use. This also promotes mathematical and scientific concepts such as size, symmetry, gravity, or balance. Again, this also enhances fine motor skills when manipulating the materials or enhances hand-eye coordination. They get a sense of achievement and self-worth from being able to do these things for themselves. There is nothing they love more than showing you the finished product and receiving that all-important praise. They take such pride in it, and we all like to be appreciated and recognized for the good things we do. So it is crucial that we stop and take time to carefully look at what they've done, not just passively saying, "Oh, very good." We can say, "Oh, wow, I love how you've painted the boxes green. And what did you use to stick these together?" Show them that you're interested in what they're doing and that they should be proud of their achievement. After all, this is their job. The next one, creative play. Creative play provides children with the opportunity to do things their way. There is no right or wrong way of doing this, so there is no chance of failure. It helps developing confidence and self-esteem when they finally see their end product. It could be a masterpiece sculpture, a necklace made from pasta, or a guitar from cardboard boxes. Again, children take pride in making these, so we should encourage them and praise their efforts. Creative play is not just about making things. Drama, dance, and dressing up are all parts of this. This is a great way of teaching them about other cultures and abilities. They can learn different dances from around the world or use the costumes that they might wear. All of this is a great way for children to express themselves, while also promoting physical development. Play categories are not limited to just one domain. Most activities will benefit in all areas of development. Now I'm going to have a wee look at pretend play. Pretend play, one game that children all love, but sometimes us adults just aren't so comfortable. It can transport you into a completely different world, and children honestly believe that they're flying that airplane or fighting off dragons to save their castle. It's wonderful to watch their imagination. If you're having difficulty with ideas, perhaps help to recreate their favourite storybook or nursery rhyme. It gives the children the opportunity to experience different roles and perhaps help them to decide what they would like to be when they grow up. It can be a doctor, nurse, mechanic, an astronaut, a builder. The ideas are endless. It also helps to remove stereotypes and show children that they can be or do anything they want. In past generations, it was unlikely for a boy to play house or with dolls. This is now very much promoted, as we want our boys to grow up to be dads, uncles, teachers, anything they like. Also, the girls are encouraged to play with blocks, Lego, all the construction areas, as previously thought of as boys' toys. So just encourage your child to play with whatever they like. Exploratory play. Exploratory play can include almost everything. This is where children explore and experience everything around them. It can be as simple as playing with a bucket of water, taking a nature walk, or trying out some fantastic science experiments. This is only limited by the imagination and is a fantastic opportunity for the children to learn about the world around them. As with all types of play, it stimulates brain connections, thus encouraging all areas of cognitive development. Children learn to become critical thinkers and work out different cause and effects. They can learn about people with different abilities and activities such as putting on blindfolds and asking them to identify various objects. Let them imagine how it would be how someone feels with a sight impairment. As we've been in lockdown for such a long time, children are not seeing people different from themselves. That is why it is so important that we teach our children that not everyone is the same. Play is a wonderful way of doing this, and there are so many resources. There's multicultural dolls dressed in traditional clothes, dolls now with hearing aids, cochlear implants, glasses, wheelchairs, and the choice of books is amazing. Mary will discuss these later. Treasure baskets are also a great way to explore materials, especially for babies, but this can be adapted for older children as well. Get them to pick a theme, maybe different textures. They can find things in the home, such as a sponge, feather duster, wooden spoon, a brush. Then talk about the feelings of these, which they like or dislike. Another part of exploratory play, which is so huge, we just had to give it a section of its own, and that is messy play. This has to be a favourite of most children, and one some parents will try to avoid if possible. But it is so much fun. Why deny them this opportunity? All that is needed is some preparation. If you have old sheets, a tablecloth, cover the floor with large bin bags, and have a basin of water or some wipes to hand so kids can be cleaned easily. Clothes can be removed if needed. They can play in their nappy or pants and vest, or if the weather is nice, take it outside. This doesn't have to be expensive. A lot of the things are in the home can be used. Shaving foam, corn flour and water to make gloop, bubbles, or freeze some small dinosaurs in water so that they can chip away at the ice to discover what's inside. There are some great ideas on our Shaping Ourselves and our children's Facebook page, and it can give you some ideas now to help over the summer holidays. This is also suitable for all ages. It can be adapted to it is very sensory, and it appeals to everyone, even the big kids. Lately, I made glue for my kids one day, and I was still playing with it long after they had finished. Sorry. It is such a feeling of satisfaction, all the various textures and smells. Some of these can be used as distractions or a means of calming a child in the middle of a tantrum. They're also great for children with additional needs, as they can be very soothing. But not all children will like taking part in messy play. Some just don't like the feeling or don't like to get dirty, but they may be curious how things feel or smell. Let them take it at their own pace. Providing these different activities in a relaxed environment will encourage a positive attitude to new experiences. Games with rules. Games with rules is quite difficult for younger children, and it is normally around 7 years that they finally grasp the concept of rules, turn taking, and winning or losing. Some games are tougher than others for children. Therefore, it is best to stick to the ones that are age appropriate to avoid frustration and problematic situations. That's why in games such as football and other team sports, young children are taught through different fun games before even touching a ball, such as catching the tail, where they must chase the opponent to get their bib. This teaches social skills and working together as a team. All these skills don't just happen overnight. They are acquired over time, so we must be patient and allow them to learn and develop. I'm sure everyone knows of some adults that aren't so gracious in defeat or a game, or likes to bend the rules. So remember, it is just a game, and it's about the fun factor, not just the winning. The role of the adult. Your role is to facilitate play. Give kids every opportunity to participate in all types of play. It is crucial for them to experience a variety of play so that all aspects of development is encouraged and helps them to reach their full potential. It may be necessary to model some activities in the beginning, as it's all about learning. But as your child gets older, allow them to take the lead. After all, this is their area of expertise. Even when they are in charge, you can still scaffold learning. Talk about everything they are doing. This language development is invaluable to them. It also teaches them social skills, what is acceptable, unacceptable when playing with others, such as social cues, turn-taking, sharing, and conversing. Children love it when we play with them, and it isn't possible to do this all the time, but it's really important to give them at least 15 minutes a day where they have our undivided attention and they can have an activity of their choice. This helps in building all the warm relationships and positive attachment, where communication comes naturally. As we get older, we acquire more inhibitions and play becomes more difficult. We make excuses such as housework to do, meals to cook, just don't have the time. We should always make time for playing with our child. They are only small for a little while and will not always want to play with you. So enjoy it while you can and don't be afraid to get silly. This just makes it all the more fun. I love this little quote from George Bernard Shaw. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. So thank you for listening. And now I'm going to pass you over to Mary, who's going to talk to you about stories and rhymes.
Thank you so much, Charlene. That was lovely. I just love that quote at the end. I think it's very, very apt. So I am just going to share my screen with you now. If you just give me a second. And if you just can let me know when you can see it. Brilliant. Thank you, Charlene. Okay. So as Charlene said, I am going to look at the benefits of nursery rhymes, storytelling, and reading to babies and young children. Well, the first thing is the proven benefits that are associated with these are the most powerful and effective methods of teaching bonding, and developing positive relationships with children. Nursery rhymes, storytelling, and reading also improve language skills by giving babies and children the chance to hear words presented in a unique way whilst hearing speech inflections. Inflection is simply the word used to describe the pitch and tone of voice we use. When we use nursery rhymes, storytelling, and read, we use lots more inflection to make the experience more interesting and engaging for others, in particular for our children. Nursery rhymes, storytelling, and reading introduce new sounds and words, which in turn expands a child's vocabulary. Another huge benefit is that it also boosts memory through a notion called recall and concentration. So I'm going to look at nursery rhymes first, as recall is very much part of nursery rhymes. This is done through repetition, and repetition enhances brain development by building your baby's or young child's memory and recall. Nursery rhymes are our first introduction to sequences and order and are vital for language acquisition and speech development. Nursery rhymes also enhance auditory discrimination of sounds, therefore developing the ear for the music of words. Isn't that just a lovely description? They help distinguish pitch, volume, inflection, and enunciation, which is the ability to say words clearly. Rhyming and rhythm used in nursery rhymes build up the muscles in the mouth and tongue, which are important for language fluency. I should have done my exercises this morning. The nursery rhymes also help develop listening comprehension, which is the building block of reading comprehension. And this simply means that it develops skills that help us understand what we are hearing, and then skills that help us understand what we are reading. Nursery rhymes help children detect the phonetic segments of words, and phonics are the sounds associated with a letter or a group of letters in a language, as in the example here: k, can, f, fan, p, pan, and so on. So that is your phonics. Another important thing about nursery rhymes is that they provide the foundation for the love of stories, as they are shorter and have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They expand young imaginations, and by introducing traditional rhymes, we introduce and help preserve cultures. So now I'm going to have a little look at storytelling. So storytelling goes a little deeper. For example, it introduces plot building, conflict, climax, and characterizations. It helps develop creative thinking and imagination. This is especially evident when we use no props, books, or visual aids. Another important aspect of storytelling is that it enhances cultural understanding, as stories offer children the chance to explore their own culture and other cultures. It allows us to explore values, traditions, and life experiences. Storytelling also encourages engagement and listening skills in your child. So what do you need to be a good storyteller? We've all experienced the storyteller where they just captivate your mind and they take you on a magical journey, and it's just through the pure art of storytelling. So after today, I'm hoping you're going to go all off and practice it. But many parents actually feel awkward or even shy when it comes to storytelling, especially if it's not something they're used to. If you start early though, with your little baby, you will be an expert by the time your child can evaluate your storytelling. The following are important aspects to good storytelling. So the first is empathy. This is to be able to see things from your child's and others' perspectives. Inflection. Use your voice to bring nursery rhymes and stories to life. Good eye contact. Engage with your child with lots of eye contact. When we talk about the child's level, that means getting down to their level. Should you all be down on the ground, or if you have them sitting on your lap, they're at your level. Appropriateness. Make sure that your child is ready and can understand the stories you're telling. And the ability to hook the listener. This is done by using all of the tips given now. So we have a few more. The first one is congruence. This just is ensuring the story is believable, that it flows and makes sense to the listener. Confidence. The more you say nursery rhymes, tell stories and read, the more confident you're going to become. Imagination. Try and think like a child and allow your imagination to take off. Remember Charlene's slide on George Bernard Shaw's quote, just think like a child. Patience. Take time to enjoy these experiences and give yourself the time to develop the skills for good storytelling. Encouragement. Encourage your child to join in. For example, simply ask them, what do you think happened next? And maybe allow the story to take a different trajectory or different direction. Encouragement. Encourage sorry, I'm saying the same thing again. Playfulness. A perfect time to combine play, making the stories even more fun. Using visual aids. These are great at bringing stories to life. You could create your own story sack with a backdrop, characters, and so on. Or simply use ice pop sticks, a little felt, googly eyes, and you have a family of characters like the ones shown in this slide. Now, books and reading to your child. And anyone that knows me, you will know how I feel about reading to your child. It is simply wonderful. Just think on how a child learns to crawl before they learn to walk. Children need to hear language that encourages them to coo and babble before they can talk. And even though your baby is too young to actually know what a book is, it is the intimacy and bonding that is experienced that sets the foundation for reading. As your child gets older, they begin to appreciate this precious, uninterrupted time that is set aside for reading. And the positive message a child gets along with the importance of reading is just how important they are to you. So along with the emotional connection your child feels, there are many other things your child is learning while you read a book to them. Cultivating Readers is a wonderful booklet that I came across a few years ago, and I can email it to you after this session if you like. It provides excellent guidance on the ages and stages of reading to your child, how to read to your child, and types of book to read based on the age and interest of your child. The following tips are provided in this wee booklet. So the ages and stages. So the first we're going to look at is from 0 to 2 years of age. So you could use books that have bold pictures in black or bright colours on a white background. Generally have no words or only 1 or 2 words on a page. Have stiff pages that are easy for young children to turn. Are made of cloth or vinyl, as these are durable and easy to clean. Very important at that age group. Make sure the books have familiar characters, actions, or objects. Real-world characters, actions, and objects make more sense to babies as it's teaching them about the world around them. For example, they also love to see pictures of other young babies and children. Read books that have songs, rhythms, and repeating phrases that are fun to listen to. And as your baby gets a little older, read books that have more words and detailed pictures. So the next stage we're going to look at is from 3 to 5 years of age. And from 3, you can introduce books that are about ideas or concepts. For example, numbers, colours, letters, shapes. Start reading books with simple stories and have a beat. Encourage your child to read or chant along in rhythm. When my children were young, I loved Julia Donaldson's books. The Gruffalo, Room in the Broom, or The Snail and the Whale. Just all classic books and all with that familiar rhythm as you're reading through it. And children just love to join in on it. Children also love books that are about familiar subjects around family, animals, seasons, and so on. They like books that have interesting characters, like young children or animals, who solve problems and get along with each other. It's important to choose books that have clear, colourful pictures and match the story that's being told. So now the next age we're going to look at is from 6 to 8 years of age. And it is really important to keep reading fun for children as they get older. Look for reading materials that are interesting, for example, comic books, cookbooks, books about subjects they are interested in. Expose your child to different kinds of reading materials by visiting the library, bookstores, even reading the local newspaper together, and searching the internet. Ensure books for this age have clear, easy to read print, and as your child's reading ability grows, look for books with more challenging text. It's important to provide a variety of books about interesting places, events, and people. This encourages your child to find their own genre, their own interest by the more that is given to them. It's still important to make sure that books at this age play with sounds and language, that books still have rhythm and include chant and songs. This is all part of the repetition and the recall, and that's the music that is we hear in words that allows us to develop our vocabulary and just the love of language. It is a great time at this age to start reading poetry together. Read books that present a realistic picture of the world. This book here, If the World Were a Village, is one of my favorites also, and it helps children and parents understand some of the issues that are faced on a global scale today. Non-fiction books are so important. Books about science, history, or real people, because not every child is into the fiction books, the made-up stories. They love to learn about the world around them. You can introduce books with more interesting pictures and artwork at this stage also. And finally, children are curious about everything, as I said, and they love books on real life. Books are a great way to learn about people and the richness of diversity we found, not just in our families, but in our communities and further afield. By introducing our children to books like these, you are opening a world of beauty, difference, and acceptance. For those of you who want the copy of the SOOC Play booklet, we told you at the start of the webinar when you signed up that you would be able to get the SOOC Play booklet and also our Tot Time booklet that celebrates diversity through Nursery Rhyme. You just have to reply to the email that you received whenever you signed up for the webinar. We will also send you out a recommended reading list on children's book that celebrates diversity and also on just general things that your child may be into. And remember, if you want a copy of the Cultivating Readers booklet, because it's an e-form, let me know in the email and I will email that to you, okay? So that is all that I have to say now about nursery rhymes, storytelling and reading. Hopefully you've got something from it. And now I'm going to hand you over to Lynn and her final session on reflexology.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary. Baby and child reflexology is a wonderful way to connect and bond with your baby, but it also has the benefits of helping to ease common childhood complaints, in particular ear, nose and throat problems. This short video will demonstrate the reflex points that correlate with these areas, so I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to your last session in baby reflexology. This week we're going to be looking at some childhood ailments that are common with all babies. First we will be looking at the sinus points, ear relief, nose relief, throat relief, and last but not least teething pains and how to help alleviate those. So we're going to start first of all with baby's foot. So all the sinus points are on the toes, and with a light feathery touch draw around each toe for 3 circles and a slight tap at the finish. 3, The sinus bony channels aren't formed in the first few months of a baby's life, so treating this area helps improve the circulation and helps the bone growth. So now we're going to look at ear relief. So we're going to place our forefinger in the space between the third and fourth toe and make a circular movement, and here between the third and fourth, circular movement 3 times. And this is also where the Eustachian reflex is. This is the point to treat for blocked and painful ear due to the change of pressure and taking off in an aeroplane or landing. So it's a useful one to know. Plus couple that with giving your baby something to drink, so it encourages the swallowing and helps ease the pain in the ear. So now for general ear complaints, we're going to use our forefinger again and massage under the fourth and fifth toe using small circular movements again. And we're going to repeat that for 3 times. And now for eye complaints, we're going to use our forefinger and massage under the second and third toe using small circular movements again in a succession of 3. So then we're going to look now at the nose, and the nose is just below the toenail and before you reach the joint. So using small circular movements on this point, circle again for 3 rotations. And it's a good idea to work that one plus the ear points if baby has a heavy head cold. So now we're going to look at the throat, and that is just to below the joint and the inner side of baby's toe, and we're going to use circular movements again. And then for teething pains, and this one you can just use anywhere as and when you need to do it. So we're going to place our forefinger in the medial edge, and we're going to sweep out to the lateral edge and back into the medial edge again. And then we're just going to swoop across to the fourth toe and around in a circle again. And again, 2, 3, over to the fourth toe, 2 and 3. So we're just going to recap on those points again. The sinus points is around each toe in a circular movement, succession of 3 and tap. And then for ear relief, between the third and fourth toe, circular movements. That's for popping or blocked ears. And then general ear complaints between the fourth and fifth toe, all in a succession of 3 circular movements. And then for eye complaints, it's between the second and third toe. Okay, and our nose below the toenail before we reach the joint, and that's your nose point. And remember, you can work all those points if baby has a heavy cold. So for the throat, that's in the inner part below the joint. And again, 3 circular movements. And for teething pains, moving from below the throat point and swooping out to the lateral edge. Medial to lateral. And swoop right over to the 4th toe and back to the big toe. 4th and back to big toe. So I just want to show you a wee chart of the foot, and that's for all your childhood ailments. And I hope you've all got a screenshot of that now. If not, if you want to send in your email, we can email you out the charts. And I want to thank you all very, very much for tuning in today to our last session of Baby Reflexology. And I hope you go away and enjoy practicing with your baby. So thanks again for tuning in. Bye. Hi, I guess it's over to me now to do I have a few questions that we've had in from our audience. We mightn't get much time to do them all, but I had one from Carol, whose baby is 11 months old. Was wondering what kind of games would I play with an 11-month-old? Well, because at 11 months, they're actually learning about the sense of cause and effect around this time. So earlier, before that, there was only one kind of cause, and that was her own actions. She could make something disappear by looking away from it. She could get someone to come to her by babbling or crying. But now she will sometimes wait for you to do things for her, which suggests her awareness of other people besides herself. One activity that you could try that strengthens this sense of cause and effect is placing a toy at the end of a strip of cloth or paper, attach it to the strip, and the other end of the strip should just be in front of her. So hold her so that she can't crawl over to the object. See if she will pull on the strip to bring the object within reach. If not, show her how it works, then see if she can do it for herself. This, of course, requires her to see the connection between the object and the strip and recognize that the strip can be used as a means to an end. She causes the strip to move and the strip causes the object to move. These cause and effect games will sharpen her intellect and help her take some giant steps forward in thinking logically about the world. So don't worry about it if she's not able to manage it just at this stage. The old saying is practice makes perfect. So the idea is just keep introducing the game maybe on a weekly basis. And then the accomplishment that she will find from being able to do it. So I think we're just about running out of time. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them in to us and we'll try and answer them as soon as we can. I just want to hand over to Mary now, who is going to close our session. And thank you very much for tuning in today.
Thanks a million, Lynn. Just loved your reflexology and your baby massage. It really brought a whole different feel to our webinars, so they were really, really much appreciated, and the amount of work and recording and everything. And I know the way at the start you said Steven Spielberg might be knocking on your door, but I don't know. You don't know, it could happen. But thank you. So what I'm going to say is just, I'm going to remind you, if you want the booklets on the reading list, just give me a reply to the email, as I said, that you received whenever you registered for the webinar. If you want a copy of the Cultivating Readers, it is lovely, gives you the lovely run through on the ages and stages and books and different things like that there. Now, I found it very, very helpful and really enjoyed it myself. Don't forget to give me your full name and your full postal address if you want the booklets posted out. I don't know if any of us were here earlier for the other webinars. I just said your email address, and like I was going to magically be able to post them to that. So make sure you include your full name and your full postal address. So what I'm going to say, just as we're finishing up, just keep checking out our Facebook page, because we have loads of different things happening and advice and different ideas with regards to helping our children get the best in life. We'll be running a summertime SOOC from, what date is it again? July 26th to 30th. So we're going to have a week of suggestions around creative play. We might even have a wee couple of things where we have photographs from past participants. And if you see yourself, you can get a copy of some of our wonderful books around cultural diversity for children. So just keep a lookout for that between the week, the dates 26th to the 30th of July. And also, if you want to check out the Life Start Foundation website page, there are great tips on parenting. There's topics like the whole team blog on different topics around all concerns to do with parenting and child development. So you could check that out too. It's a great one-stop place just to go and read up on different things that you may be interested in. So I'm going to finish up now, and I want to thank Veronica and Charlene, and Pauline isn't here today, with regards to all the hard work they put into for this series of webinars. They're all available, and they will all be available on our YouTube channel, and we'll share that on our Facebook page. So share it. It's a great thing to tap into, understanding all the different topics around child development. It is vast, because each child is different and we take away different things. And that whole notion of positive parenting and what we can do to actually help our children, it's like just a little bit of magic dust that you need to help your child reach their potential and have a great time, being a parent. Sometimes it's difficult, but if we sit back and, as they say, smell the coffee, you'll have a ball being a mum or a dad. So thank you. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. And that's it. Bye. End of our webinars. Talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.